Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a cast of your hand using Alginate and Plaster of Paris, but I don't have enough room on my desk, so let's head into the studio. Okay, so the first step is to make a mould of your arm, and for that you're going to need some Alginate and just some water, and basically mix these two up together. But you're also going to want another kind of container so that you can put your arm in, but it needs to be wide enough so that your arm doesn't touch the sides, and it also needs to be deep enough so that your arm can reach the bottom to whatever length that you need to get it down to. So I've got a jug here, which will be fine. I've also got obviously a jug of just normal tap water. You don't want your water to be too hot either, so either just have it cold or lukewarm. If you have it too hot, then it will set really quick and you'll struggle getting your hand into it and it'll just be a big mess. So stick with cold or lukewarm water. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add the water to this bucket. And then I'm going to add the alginate. And the reason I'm doing it in here is because with this, I'm actually going to be whisking it. And with this you've got more surface area, whereas I'll struggle doing it in this. So I'm going to mix it into this bucket first and then transfer it over into this jug. So you just want to start adding your alginate. I can't remember the specific mix ratio, but it'll be listed on the instructions. I don't have the instructions with this, I don't know where it's from. But what I would recommend is to start with a small amount, start mixing, and then add more if you need to. Also, you don't have to whisk, you can just use a stirrer, but with a whisk it helps getting all the lumps out, so it is easier. But you can use a stick, I've used a stick before, it just turns out quite lumpy. Okay, so it's time to turn this on. Should be a thumbnail. I'm just going to add a bit more because it seems a little bit watery. And this alginate stuff as well, it's a similar, if not the same product, is what dentists use to get a mould of your teeth. So that's why it's safe for your body. Right, I'm happy with that now. It's less watery and it's starting to get a little bit thicker, and it'll look something like this. And it's just kind of a pink gloop. And what I'm going to do now is just pour it into here. Oh shit. Yeah, and that's a good thing about whisking it, is that it gets all the lumps out. It's like really nice and smooth now. And then what you need to do is take your arm and you shove it in. And while you have your arm, oh, I'm really close. And just make sure when you've got your arm in here, you don't move it around too much and you leave a gap so that your arm isn't touching the very bottom of the jug, because otherwise you'll have a hole in it, and then when you go to pour your plaster of Paris, it'll leak out. So just be careful of that. Try not to touch the sides and stuff. But you probably just want to wait here until it starts to set. And you'll feel it when it starts to set. It'll obviously start to go harder, but it'll still be spongy. It doesn't hurt or anything like that. It doesn't get too hot. But you're kind of stuck, so I'm just stuck here with my arm in some pink goo. And with this as well, you can obviously open your hand into different shapes and make kind of different things with your hand. Obviously I'm just using a fist for this one, but you can do whatever you want really. Also, I'll say this now in case I forget later on. I probably won't, but just in case, you can't use resin with an alginate cast. And the main reasons for this is that the alginate will hold on to a lot of water, and if you've watched any of my previous videos where I talk about resin hates moisture and it just doesn't work. I've tried it before, so don't try to use resin with this alginate mould, because you just won't have any success with it at all. But it is perfect for Plaster of Paris, which is what we're doing today. But I'm just going to wait here with my hand stuck in this, and I'll meet you back when it's time to pull my hand out, I think. Okay, and once you've waited, I think I've waited about 10 minutes, maybe 15, I'm not sure. It'll look something like this, and as you can see, if I move my arm, it's solid, but it's still spongy. It's kind of like a very thick mousse, but with a more jelly kind of consistency to it. But you just need to try and pull your arm out without ruining it, so you have to be quite careful, but just kind of give it a quick wiggle and slowly pull it out. Nice. There we go, come on. And that's not me farting, it's the mould, I swear. Just be nice and careful, there we go. Oh. And then it'll look something like that. I don't know whether you can see it. It looks quite odd, but yeah. Okay, and now it's time to mix our plaster of Paris up, and all you need is your plaster of Paris and some water. Again, keep your water cool or lukewarm, because if it's hot, it's going to accelerate the casting process, and then you'll find it very difficult to pour into your mould. So we're just going to add, I'm just going to eyeball it, but if you buy any, there'll probably just be some instructions on it. I usually keep adding it until it starts to float to the top. I think I got taught that somewhere, unless I made it up, I'm not sure. So we're just going to keep adding. Okay, and I'm just going to use my hands for this, because then I can tell when it's ready. I need more than that. I need way more than that. Yeah. No, I need more. And you just want to keep mixing it up until it starts to kind of have slightly thick consistency. And you want to make sure, if you find any lumps, with your fingers to kind of smooth them out inside the water. And again, as soon as this starts to thicken up, that's when you want to pour it, because it accelerates really quickly and sometimes you'll struggle to get the cast. Right. See, that's starting to get a little bit thick already, so I'm going to pour that into our mould now. Just take our mould we had before and just pour it down the centre. I mixed too much. And once you've done that, you want to leave it for about an hour so it hardens up, but we'll check on that in a bit. I'm going to set it aside and leave it, and I'll meet you once this is ready to come out of the mould. Okay, so I've left it about an hour and it's all set. It's nice and hard. Also, just to let you know, if you have any excess, like I did, don't pour it down the sink or anything like that, because it will block your pipes up. Just wait until it sets hard, and then you can break it up and dispose of it as well. Okay, and what we're going to do now is demould the cast, and we have to be really careful still, because all of the water from the alginate will have seeped into the cast, into the plaster of Paris. So it's still quite, although it feels strong, it's still quite weak. So just be a bit careful, don't be too rough with it. And there's going to be excess water, so you're just going to probably just want a tea towel on hand. And you just want to try and carefully get it out. Nope. There we go. Once you've used the alginate, you can't use it again, so we are going to destroy it. So just keep that in mind. But all we're going to do is slowly pull apart the alginate. And again, just be really, really careful, because I've ruined plenty of them before. Just take little sections off at a time. Oh, it's like Christmas Day. And you'll have your hand. Oh, what's happened to my thumb? I'm not sure what's happened to my thumb, but my thumb doesn't look like that in real life. So something's gone wrong there, but the rest of it is quite decent. And we're still going to want to set this aside for a bit just to dry off. Because like I said, it is still fragile. But that's basically how you cast with plaster of Paris and with alginate. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that mold making tutorial. Technically, I've given you 3 different things to learn, which is how to use alginate, how to use plaster of Paris, and how to make a cast of your hand. And it's pretty easy. You do get discrepancies now and again, because my thumb is nowhere near that skinny or bony. No, it's not. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Bye. I don't know what I'm doing.